Okay, so I'm here with Chloe, and we're just going out, and we're just going to walk around and let her kind of see her environment. A few things. With leadership, it's not position as much as it is mindset. So I don't care that she's in front of me. I actually prefer she's in front of me right now because I can film better. But I don't care about where she is at this. This is going to be our first walk. I've moved her from kennel to kennel, but this is the first time I've taken her out for a walk. So walks are two different things. Walks are for the dog, obviously. And so I want her to have a good experience on her walk. I want her to get comfortable in her environment. So that's part of socialization. In obedience training, you actually want your dog to avoid their environment because the environment can be a distraction. And once a dog's mind is distracted in that way, they're not as obedient. So before I do obedience training, I do environment socialization. And that's because I want my dogs to feel calm, confident in environments. I don't want them to just rely on me and obedience to feel calm, confident. So before I start obedience training, I want to take them out to different environments and let them start to build their confidence in that environment. So part of my environment socialization is going into a very controlled environment. Like you could see, this dog is fearful. And there's nothing going on. Like there's no distractions. It's just an environment. And she's not comfortable. So it would do me a disservice and her a disservice to have distractions. Like I'm not going to take her to a store or something like that where she's going to have to start to process people and dogs and moving objects and sounds and smells and all those things, because that will be too stimulating to her. What I want her to do is to just be somewhere new that has just the environment as a distraction, and I want her to feel comfortable in that situation. So I want her to do this. I want her to sniff. Good girl. What a good girl. The dog's largest part of their brain is accessed through their nose. So if a dog doesn't smell, they're not using very much of their brain. So the first thing I want to do with a fearful or aroused dog or nutty dog or behavior dog or any kind of problematic dog is I want to get them out and get them smelling. Like that's key 101. Just I don't do anything until they're using their nose. Now their nose could be a big distraction. So once she's comfortable using her nose, then I'm going to start to control her nose. And I'll control her nose by telling her when to sniff and when not to sniff. And I'll show you how that works. But first, I have to get her using her nose. So right now, I'm just following her around. Again, this is her walk. What she's not allowed to do on this walk is disrespect me. Respect, respect, respect. You respect me, I respect you, we respect each other. So, as long as she's respecting me by not dragging me. If she starts dragging me, I'm going to have to take over and be the leader. But right now, I've given leadership to her. I've given her leadership because I've let her control the walk. So that's basically how a dog knows they're the leader. They're the one controlling the walk. So when she walks, I walk. When she stops, I stop. Where she goes, I go. That is silent leadership. So I've silently put her in the leadership role just by going where she wants to go, when she wants to go there, stopping when she wants to stop, and going at the pace she wants to go. That right there, the leash just got behind her butt. I'm not going to freak out about that. I'm not going to let her freak out about that. If she freaks out, I'm going to try to help her to calm down just through pressure and release. What a good girl! I love the shake-offs. They say shake-offs are stress release. Some people say it's fixing their coat. That could have been a little bit of fixing her coat, but I think it was a little both. She got stressed by the leash behind her butt, and then it ruffled her coat, so she shook off the stress and fixed her coat at the same time. Good girl. I'm starting to put really important words. These are my foundation words. So good girl is a foundation word in my program, and it means I like what you're doing. You're not getting anything from me for doing it, because what you're doing is its own reward. So you don't need a reward from me. But that is a behavior I encourage you to repeat. So I'm using good girl because she's a girl. And good is the word. So good means do that in the future, unless I tell you not to do it in the future, which I'll work on later on. But right now, I want her to know, I want her to sniff. So every time she sniffs, I'm going to say good girl. When I use the word good girl, I'm using a happy tone and kind of like a higher pitch tone to create some kind of prey drive sound, because dogs like that sound. So she'll know that that is a good tone. Right now she doesn't know what it means, but some things you can teach in obedience, some things you can teach in the wrong state of mind, and some things you can. I don't recommend. You can teach anything in the wrong state of mind. I don't recommend you teach in the wrong state of mind. So good is one of those words. I use it in foundation and in obedience. So it doesn't matter to me the state of mind. It's a word I'm going to use in any state of mind. Another word I use, which is the next level of marker. These are marker words. So good marks a behavior but has no reward from me. The environment or the behavior itself is the reward. The other marker word I use for the positive stuff is yes. And yes is also to mark a behavior I like, just like good is. The only difference is when I say the word yes, it means I'm going to actively give the dog a reward. So I always start yes marker training with food. Yes equals food. And then after the dog associates it with food, then I can start to transfer it to other things, like yes could mean a toy. Yes could mean go play. Yes can mean freedom. It can mean anything, but I'll actually give the dog something. Not the environment or the behavior itself, but me personally. I'm giving you access to something. And then I have 2 negative markers. Means stop doing that. You're not in trouble. You didn't do anything, maybe 10 minutes ago you were allowed to do that, or yesterday you were allowed to do that, and maybe in 2 minutes or tomorrow you'll be allowed to do it. But in this moment in time, I need you to stop doing that. That's what is. And then no is you've done something that's dangerous to you, dangerous to me, dangerous to somebody else, or something you've been taught is a bad thing to do and you keep doing it. Therefore, you get the no, and no comes with heavy consequences. Hi, sweetheart. Good girl. So that was the use of good girl. So I made a kissy sound. I didn't plan to do anything about that kissy sound. I just made a kissy sound. And she she got bothered by it. She got a little nervous by it. So every time I made the kissy sound, she took flight option. She moved away. So I continued to make that kissy sound until she went to confidence. I'm not going to take flight this time. I'm just going to stand here. It hasn't attacked me yet. So I'm just going to be brave and just listen. When she just listened, I said, good girl, marked the behavior. That's the right behavior. If I had food, I would have said yes, but I don't have food. So I marked the behavior, and then I didn't repeat it. In dog training, we have a motto. We say, especially when you're doing like obedience training, do it till your dog fails. And trainers say that because we ask a dog to do a behavior and they do it nicely. We want it perfectly, so we ask again, and they do it better. We want one more, so we get it perfect, and then we get excited because we got it perfect, so we ask for it again, and we get perfect again, and then we ask for it again, and then we get it terrible, and we blew it. We went too many times. Dogs want to do things perfectly, so if they don't, they'll keep trying, but when they can't get it perfect, if you keep asking them to do a behavior, they think they made a mistake. So they keep on changing it, trying to find the right behavior. And if you ask them after they've done it perfectly, they'll change it, and then it's no longer perfect. So you're always supposed to stop on the good one. Don't ask for another good one, because you'll probably get a bad one. Hi, sweetheart. Nice. I love this. Nice. So the reason she's following me is because I've been following her. This is pack mentality. I'm building a pack dynamic with her. And that is packs do things together. So she walks, I walk. She stops, I stop. She goes a certain speed, I go a certain speed. She goes a certain direction, I go a certain direction. That's me telling her I'm choosing you as a pack member. And then she's going, okay, you chose me and you've been pretty trustworthy. How about if I choose you now? So now if I go anywhere, she's going to follow me. And then we're an established pack. If we follow each other, we're an established pack. Then it's a matter of who's going to be the leader of that pack. And leadership changes from situation to situation. Sometimes you have a strong pack leader, and sometimes you have different leaders for different things. So it just depends on the pack. With dogs, I like to change it up because dogs have to learn to be confident, independent, make decisions, make good decisions, and be able to navigate the world without a leader, because we're humans and we leave them to their own devices a lot, or we leave them with strangers a lot, and we take them to weird places, all those things that a low-ranked pack leader dog can't handle, those stressors. So by putting them in the leader position and becoming a chosen follower, I've chosen to follow the dog, I can set the dog up properly to be a good leader. So I've already challenged her to be a leader, which means I was following her and letting her make some choices. Good girl. But I set her up for good leadership because nothing bad's going to happen to her. So anything that she does is going to be a good choice. It's my job to make sure she's set up for leadership. Don't ever put your dog in a leadership role that they can't handle. But she can handle this kind of leadership. And she needs to be. She needs to be able to investigate her environment without a leader, telling her what to do. So, but I'm here. I'm here for support. I'm here to help her. If she gets startled or stuck, I'll take over leadership. Good girl. girl. What a good girl. If you notice, her tail is down low and it's tight. Like if I walked over and I tried to move her tail, it's not going to move. So a relaxed tail would be down like that, which would be good if it was nice and relaxed. But it would have movement. Her tail does not have movement because it's stiff. It's stiff because she's fearful. You can also see she's worried. You can see the wrinkles in her face. So she's got a lot of worry in her. We're going to see just by... Good girl! She's going into hunt. We're going to see just by being a dog, doing dog stuff, how that affects her. So those are little lip licks. It could just be getting the dirt off her nose. We're going to kind of see. Her mouth is closed, and now it's open. A closed mouth is a more stressed mouth. She's eating some grass. Chewing is calming to a dog, so I like that she's chewing a little bit. Licking the lips, if that wasn't just getting the dirt off her nose, when they do a quick lip lick, that's stress. And it could be stress. I mean, I don't know her history. She could have been a digger at one point and put her face in the dirt to dig and got yelled at or corrected, and so a dog can do a behavior and then become stressed because of something that's happened. She could have stuck her head in the wrong hole once and got a critter in her face, and that could cause stress. So it just, for me at this stage when I'm working with a dog and I'm learning about the dog, I'm just looking for these little body language moments. So if she licks her lips, I'm making note of it. It's stress. It's mild stress. To me, it's good stress, because if she's stressed right now, that means stress creates adaptation. So if you never see stress, you've never put the dog in a new situation. Same with humans. We don't become stressed in situations we're comfortable in. We only become stressed in situations we've never been put in, or situations that we've been put in that were bad experiences for us. So a lot of people think stress is bad, and stress can be bad. Stress makes us release pheromones that that kind of tell our brain that we're stressed, we're in bad situations. The thing is about stress is, if you're in a bad situation and you can't make that situation good, then you're going to release too much stress. You might even go into distress, but you're going to be stressed and nothing positive is going to come from it. That's bad stress. You do not want that kind of stress. That stress your brain holds on to, and then it marks that memory, and then if you go back in that situation, you're going to go right back to stress. Or maybe you don't go back to that situation, you go to another stressful situation, and then you're in a bad situation again, and your brain is stressed, and that situation doesn't get better for you, so then your brain marks that as a stress memory. Now you have what's called stress stacking. You're stacking stress up, and you're not having a good outcome, and so your brain starts to just perceive everything as bad, and then you become anxious, and your brain doesn't get to a place of coping or de-stressing, and so then you live in a stressed state of mind. That happens all the time. So when I put a dog in a stressful situation, I'm looking for positive outcomes. So her standing here digging in the grass could be stressful to her, depending on what her past was, right? But as long as nothing bad is happening to her, if she's going through stress, then nothing bad has happened to her. and she's getting to chew the grass, and she's relaxing, she's panting, she's got a nice flicker to the tongue, her head's a little lower, she still looks worried, but not as worried. You can see her head's moving more freely, her eyes are flickering, her eyes are moving, her forehead's not as wrinkled. She's looking around. Nothing's bothering her. Hi, pretty girl. She looked at me. She has a nice soft look in her eye. Her mouth is opening and closing really nicely. That requires relaxation. Her tail is still tight, but not super, super tight. You can just see in her movement of her neck, it's not stiff. Her ears are moving around. So she heard a sound. She's very sound sensitive. A big truck went by. You can see when I crinkle the ground. She's like, what is that? So she wants to take flight there. So this is important. I've done a couple things. I whistled, and she got nervous of that, and now I'm moving the grass, and she's nervous of that. Notice when I'm doing these things, I'm not tightening up on the leash. I don't change anything on her. Like, the leash is nice and soft. I have a grip of it, so if she bolts, I have a nice grip of her, so she can't take off. But when I make a sound and she goes into flight mode, which she's going into flight mode even though she's not taking off, her brain is gearing up for that. When I make sounds and I do things that spook her, I keep doing it. It's called desensitization. So I'm desensitizing her to these sounds by making the sound happen over and over and over. You have to desensitize them. If I do it once and she jumps and I stop, that marks, the brain has a marker memory system. So the brain marks a memory that leaves are scary. Because she heard a leaf, she jumped, and then the leaves never made another sound. So her brain is going to associate the sound of a leaf with jumping. If she took off bolting, then leaves mean bolt, right? So if I leave her on that first sound, then I'm actually training her to be scared, to be fearful of crunching leaves. Probably not a good training response, right? So for me, I'm going to keep making the sounds until her brain doesn't react to the sound. Then when her brain marks that, like now she's reacting, her ears are back, she's going into a little bit of a flight state, she's a little tense, she's processing, a little stressed. There, now she's panting a little bit. I'm just waiting for her to come. She's not relaxed. Now her ears are a little softer. Looks a little better. If you don't get a change quick, within, 10, 20 seconds, you can stop. There's a nice yawn. Good girl. Because you're not getting a change of behavior. Good girl. Wanna come up? So notice, I did not pull on the leash. I said, you want to come up? She's paying close attention. That's not a command I'm going to use a whole lot. But I did not pull with the leash. If I pulled with the leash, I would have gotten what's called oppositional reflex. People say dogs don't have oppositional reflex. They do. Everybody has oppositional reflex. When you pull on the leash, they're going to go backwards, or she's going to bolt forward. But most likely she's going to go backwards because she's a flight dog. I moved my feet. The leash is here to guide her. The leash is not here to control her. I'm here to control her. See, didn't move the leash at all. I'm just moving my feet. I want her to follow me. not the leash. Once she's following me, I'll transfer to the leash so that I can move her with the leash. But right now, it's all about me. Good girl. So right there, I walked into her shoulder blade. And again, that's that dominant, kind of like just telling her I'm the one in charge. And she's trying to cut in front of me. I don't want her to cut in front of me. So it's just me using proper body language to tell her to straighten out and go that direction. Now I'll let her come over here and sniff. She's very curious. And she looks really relaxed now. Her tail's still tight. But the front half is looking good. Okay. I'm going to put her up now so she can rest and digest everything that we just did.